I'm in the new Ford Ranger Sport and it is a monster. Nearly everyone I've spoken to about this car gets a near feral-like gleam in their eye when they discuss it. So honestly, been itching to get behind the wheel of this one. But don't worry, you're not in an adventure review. I've been testing it this week to see how it handled my family's life. My first thoughts are, this is big enough that you could imagine Martin Riggs driving one for any Lethal Weapon fans out there. Add the fact that the tray is usable and you can throw a couple of kids in the back. This seems like the perfect all-rounder. A workhorse and a family car. But does it have heart as well as size? Let's see if the hype has matched the real-life experience.
The Sport by Turbo is the model you get into before the flagship Wildtrak and Raptor variants, and will cost you a little under $64,000 before on-road costs. Not exactly chump change, but it has some nice features, like 18-inch alloy wheels, full LED lights, leather interior, built-in sat-nav, plus wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto.
This has been fitted with an optional touring pack, which costs an extra $900, but you do get a 360-degree view camera, 4-zone exterior lights and puddle lamps, plus a trailer brake controller. For the 360-degree camera alone, it's probably worth it because it does help a lot with parking. You do get more luxury features on competitor models for the same price. And because this model misses out on items like heated and ventilated front seats, heated steering wheel, electric passenger seat, to name a few, the price point starts to feel a little bit high when you get into the nitty-gritty. The new Ranger Sport looks more purposeful than the previous model, and that's probably got a lot to do with the go large or go home motto that seems to be in every design aspect. The shape is very robust, squared off, and there's no sleek tapering in sight.
The LED headlights look awesome, and I like the way they wrap around the big dark grille. A wide and tall bonnet coupled with all the dark accents makes it look kinda mean. In fact, my family nicknamed it Bruce after the shark in Jaws. The inside carries through the sense of space with its big multimedia screen, cool honeycombed air vents and wide seats.
It's a design that looks like it means business and actually looks like it could handle some tough conditions. So it's big, but not all puff.
The first thing you'll notice is how you need the side steps to get in and out.
I'm 168 centimeters or 5'6", and if I don't use the side seals, I literally jump out. The second thing you're going to notice is how generous the space is up front. You've got great head and leg room, plus elbow room. It's really good space. The dash feels a little bit utilitarian, but the honeycombed vents add some much needed personality and they're very effective as well. The storage is pretty good. The glove box is a little bit shallow, but passengers also get a shelf in front of them for little storage, plus what I imagine to be, a wallet cubbyhole on either side of the dash. You also have a drink bottle holder and storage bins in each door. The middle console is big and has a 12-volt port in case you ever need to charge anything. But you also have 2 cup holders as well as a sunglasses holder. So storage is pretty good.
The seats are wide and firm. You'll feel that on longer trips, but the driver's side is electric with lumbar support. It's a shame though that it wasn't carried over to the passenger side, which remains manual.
The touchscreen multimedia system kind of looks like an iPad's just been stuck on the dash, but it does suit the aesthetic. And I like that it's easy to use. The built-in sat-nav is always handy, and I also think that it's fantastic that you don't have to access it to, get to climate or volume control. This does have wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, and it's been easy to connect my iPhone 8 Plus to it, but I did have to delete all the stored phone connections, otherwise it wasn't a very seamless connection, which is something to consider if you're going to share the car with your workmates or family members.
It also has a wireless charging pad, which has been handy this week, and if you can't get the wireless connection going, there is a USB A and C port here as well.
The digital instrument panel is simple but customizable, and I also like how plainly the information is seen. I mean, it's very easy to read the infographics, which is great. It feels really good back here. You've got good headroom and elbow room, but I'm behind my driving position and there's not tons of leg room. So if you're a taller driver, you are probably going to squish backseat passengers. I like that the design from the front vents has been carried through the back here, and the seats are surprisingly comfortable. They feel more padded than the front. There's an okay amount of storage back here too. You've got map pockets, device pockets here, a storage bin and drink holder in each door, plus 2 cup holders in the armrest. It's a little bit fiddly to get in and out, but you should be okay. You have under-seat storage, which is always handy, but if you do have car seats installed, it's not going to be easily accessed. There are ISOFIX mounts on the outboard seats, plus 2 top tether child seat mounts. The seat is wide enough that you probably could have fit 3 child seats side by side, so it is a bit disappointing that there's not a third top tether anchor. This does limit flexibility for families with 3 younger children. Fitting a child seat is a process. Now, if you move your seat in and out like I do quite regularly, this is quickly going to become tiresome. But on a whole, if you set and forget, only the initial install is going to be an issue. When you put your child seat in, you have to really push the front seat forward, dip this forward, lengthen your top tether anchor point out as far as it will go to fit it, and then shove it back. Now, I couldn't get my top tether as tight as I usually would, and I have found that in most of the utes that I've been in, so it does irk me a little bit.
There's an okay amount of space for the front passenger when a 0 to 4 rearward-facing child seat is installed, but it will encroach on the driver's position a lot more, and if you're tall, that could get uncomfortable.
This tray has been designed to fit a forklift pallet, so there's plenty of room for all of your gear. I would have preferred a lockable hardtop cover, but if you shop up to the Wild Track model, you do get an electric roller cover, and it could be worth a few extra grand and maybe cheaper than getting one fitted aftermarket, plus you get some extra features thrown in. This tray has been fitted with an optional spray-on liner. It does cost an extra $500, but has seemed to stop gear from rolling around too much. If things do slide to the back, you can access the side step to get into the tray, which is always handy. A cool feature of this tailgate are these clamp clips. So say you're on a work site or you're working on a project from home, you can actually utilize this as a workbench. Another good thing is how light this tailgate is. Barely any effort, which is great for me because I have no muscles. You get a full-size spare wheel and a tow kit in this. So whatever adventure throws at you, you're going to be sorted. This has the smaller 4-cylinder engine available in the Sport grade. Ford has released a 3-litre V6 version, but this is more than sufficient at moving this big beast around. There is plenty of power in this, and it's at home, cruising around the city or on the open road. And when you go up the hill, the engine doesn't whine at you. There's heaps of power in reserve, which is really nice. The engine is actually pretty quiet for a diesel too, which is nice because you do get a bit of road noise in this. So if it was really guttural, it would have been hard to ignore. The 10-speed auto transmission has been awesome, and the gear shifting is very smooth, which is surprising because often in bigger cars you can sometimes bunny hop at lower speeds, but in this, it doesn't happen. Something that I noticed is that the headlights default to auto when you get in and out, which I found to be a little bit annoying because the adaptive high beams automatically come on, which I noticed when I was going around bends at night, and I ended up feeling like I was flashing people. I think this could have been better. Despite its tall body, you don't get hit by the winds at high speeds, and there's not as much roll in it as I was expecting. You will be comfortable when you tackle bends and curves in this. The suspension is lovely, and you're not going to be bumping around in your seat. Even backseat passengers will be comfortable, which can't be said for all dual cab utes. The steering feels good, and you're not fighting the wheel when you're turning the car, but you still feel like you're in control, which is good. It's just a shame that the steering wheel feels so hard under your hands. It just reminds you that it's a workhorse and not in a good way. You'll be fine to park this. But because it is longer, I did have to do, 6-point turns in a smaller car park. With the reversing camera and the optional 360-degree view camera, it takes a lot of the fear out of parking it. And honestly, by the end of the first day, I had no qualms in tackling a park. The E-shifter takes a lot to get used to. Where the buttons are to release the gears, not where you naturally put your fingers. And there was a little bit of fumbling around this week. It's something that I'm not terribly fond of, but I think you would get used to it after a short time. The official combined fuel cycle is 7.6 litres per 100 kilometres, and I achieved 7.8 litres per 100 kilometres on a mix of open road driving and city. Now, that is fantastic fuel consumption, especially for such a big car. I was very impressed with it. Naturally, if you're in the city or you're heading off-road, I'd imagine that figure to be higher, but the diesel has proven to be quite economical. The Ford Ranger Sport has some good safety features like blind spot monitoring, rear cross traffic alert, reversing camera, AEB, lane keeping and departure aids, as well as 9 airbags, which is more than most utes.
The Ranger has just been awarded the maximum 5-star ANCAP safety rating against the strict 2022 criteria.
The Ranger comes with Ford's 5-year unlimited kilometre warranty, which is standard for this class. It does come with the unusual guarantee that if your Ford is beyond repair and less than 3 years old, then Ford will replace it with a new one. It comes with 4 years cap price servicing, which is a little bit less than average, but services are reasonable at $329. Servicing intervals are pretty standard at 12 months or 15,000 kilometres, whichever occurs first. I really like this ute. It's big and mean looking, but it handles well, and the driving performance has really won me over. Plus, it's a very smooth drive. Yes, it is finicky fitting car seats, and there's not heaps of flexibility for kid stowage, but for my small family of 3, it suited us just fine. I would have liked some more luxury features for the price tag, but still earns an 8.5 from me. My son is filthy that we have to hand this back, and he's been plotting ways that we can keep it. Obviously, it was won over, and he gives it a firm 10 out of 10. If you're after more details, check out the full review at the CarsGuide site. The link will be in the description, and I'm going to see you next week.